Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hopefully you can hear me and there's not too much of an annoying whine. I tried my hardest. I've been trying all day. Well, that's a lie. I've been trying for about 2 hours to see if I can get the audio working. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the comments if that is the case. Hopefully there isn't too much of a whine. And while I wait for someone to confirm that, I'll say hello, welcome. This is the Friday night Aquarium Adventures live stream, so any kind of discussions on topics fishy or otherwise, more than welcome. I am getting a little bit of feedback, so I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. But hopefully that doesn't break anything. But good evening, happy Friday everyone. Hope you've all got a beverage and a snack ready. Tipple this evening is Heineken. This is how low it's going. I actually quite like Heineken, but still. Hop House 13. It's dead. Seems it's gone from the shops altogether. They didn't have any Membrea. They didn't have any... I tried that Japanese one a couple of weeks back. They didn't have any of that. Asante, whatever it is. So I'm stuck with Heineken this evening, but that's not a bad thing. I do quite like Heineken. So, hello Carrie, hello NJW from Doncaster, hi from Sheffield. I'm going to Doncaster on holiday. Here's a sentence I never thought I'd hear myself saying. In October for my father-in-law's 80th birthday. I live in Sheffield, we're going all the way to Doncaster for a holiday. I don't know what more to say about that. Anyway. David Swain, all hands on deck. Hi, I like that big blue filter to take nasties out of the water in your video part 2. Yes, if you haven't seen, I released a video earlier today. Hopefully you all had a chance to watch it. And if not, stick it on your... What's the word I'm trying to say? Watch list? That's not a thing, is it? Watch it later. I'm hoping that this new series will get a little bit more momentum behind it as I make more and more fishy videos rather than videos about why I can't make any videos because I'm moving house. So I made a video about me getting into my new temporary place. So if you're new here, first of all, hello, welcome. Click that subscribe button down below, give us a like, all that good stuff. But I'm in the middle of some house shenanigans, so I'm moving house from this house. The house I've bought, the electrics are a little bit dodgy, so to de-stress myself I've been doing two things. I've been getting rid of fish and tanks, so these are all practically broken down now, but the fish that I want to keep, so my special fish and the ones that I haven't managed to palm off on anyone else, I've hired a place, or I've rented, hired. I keep saying hired. You don't hire houses and flats and stuff. You rent them. I've rented a flat. It's someone I used to work with, friend's daughter's husband's dad, or I think there's a dog in there somewhere as well. They have a room above their business, which his daughter used to live in, but has moved out, and he's in the middle of renovating it. But he's not going to do anything for a few months rather, so he says, yeah, you can have it. Did me a good deal. So I've hired that place, and I started moving some stuff across. So I moved the racks across the other day. I need to go back and finish all that off and get some of the tanks in. But I also bought this thing called the Big Blue Filter. Go and check out the video, and there's a link in the description and all that good stuff. But it's basically an HMA filter, so a carbon block filter. On steroids. It's massive. It's a big thick boy. And the main difference between that and my HMA filter, you're meant to run it at no more than something like 4 litres per minute. I mean, it's all dependent on loads of things. It depends on what's in your water that you're trying to filter out of it. And it depends on the flow rate. It depends on... there's various things. So the water hardness, softness, all that stuff determines your flow rate. But this one, you can basically just do it full pelt, and it'll take all the nasties out of your water. Because my original idea was that I was going to move all the tanks at once on the day of the move, and then just hook this thing up to like a mixer tap, put water in, bang on at the right temperature, and fill all my tanks up, get all my fish in, job's a good one. But I just don't think the electrics can take it, so we need to do some electrics work in the new place before we can do that. but I'll still get good use out of it. I can still fill tanks quite quickly. I think that'll be quite good. So I was in the middle of saying hello everyone. Hello Scott. Sorry, Simon. I do apologise for that last week. Urban's in again today. Chris, Phil, good evening Phil. Chris Silver, Z, Tim's in. Welcome Tim. I think Tim might be the willing volunteer for Meet the Mods number 4, is it, tonight? Or 5? 4, I think. Rocky's in. Freshwater Ichthyology, fresh off her 1,000 subscriber success. If you haven't already, go and check out her channel, Rebecca's channel, Freshwater Ichthyology. Just passed 1,000 subscribers this week. Congratulations. I don't know if that worked, because now I can't hear anything. Ah, there we go. Kind of worked. Yes, as Simon says, looking forward to meeting you, Tim. So we'll speak to Tim in a little while. I don't know why I slag it off. It's really nice, that. So let's jump through. Hey, Dawn's in, Brian's in, first time on in a few weeks due to work. Yes, can't get in the way of work, can't it? Rob's here saying evening all, as is Scott, reminding everyone to click that like button. So we've got about 30 people here so far and only 19 likes. Come on, I think we can do a little bit better than that. Let's do a quick check and see if all my other cameras are working. No. Oh, that one works. That's a start at least. Hello. Okay, so GoPro not quite working. We need to work on that. I'll go back to the big face for now while I press some more buttons and see if I can't get it to work. Can we get it to work? Why would you do that? No, I don't want to submit my preferences. I just want you to work. Why won't you just turn on? It may be an idea if I actually turned it on. So anyway, that'll beep away noisily for a while while we think about that. Jennifer, sorry, on a night out, we'll catch you all later and meet Tim then. You just can't get the staff these days. Enjoy your night out, Jen. Matt Phillips, Paul Horrocks, Sharpie's in, evening Fishy's friends. Okay, sounds good, that's what we want to hear. Sounds much better, even better. Thank you, Soren. Craig Broderick, good day everyone. Got my stickers, mate. My God, that was weeks ago I sent them. Oh, good day, mate. I will take a wild guess that you're the chap from Australia who asked for some stickers. Glad you got them. Excellent. That'll be why it took so long. Sounds good on this end. Wine and popcorn tonight for Chris. Mead and apple crumble on the way. Now that's snacks and beverages to look forward to. Matt Phillips says, I looked at the boxes you're going to move fish. I need bigger, so going to the range. They do lots of different sizes. But you're right, the bigger ones do get expensive, and if you don't have to move them far, there are plenty of cheaper options. Oh dear. Sharpie, I had a heater stick on last night and woke up to 10 gallons of hot pleco and snail soup. Not nice. I had a bit of I hasten to say argument. There we go, the GoPro's working now. Hello GoPro. Had a bit of a debate, shall we say. So someone left a comment on one of my videos. Where I'm always banging on about heater controllers and things like that. But someone left a comment on the video saying, I don't trust heater controllers, they make the problem worse. In fact, shall we look up the comment? That might be easier to do. Yes, Graham, rather than slandering someone with no backup. Just bear with me, caller, while I log into YouTube. Why is that not working? Oh, there we go. Comments I have responded to from idiots. No, not really. I saw a comment today saying, I love your iron brew shelving. So today's video was me setting up my Big Dug racking, which is blue and orange in colour. I like that. I'm going to be calling that Iron Brew racking from now on. I can't find it now. Oh yeah, remember my Nitrate heater that was rubbish, basically. It just either wouldn't work or wouldn't stop working, or nothing in between. So somebody said, I have that heater, had no issues with it. I used to use an Inkbird, well, I'll paraphrase because it's not very good grammatically. I used to use an Inkbird controller with my other heaters, but don't be complacent with them. They malfunction the same as heaters. My Inkbird, which I've never had an issue with, was set to 26. But temperature reading was showing 24, so my heater was on. The actual temperature was in the 80s, so we're already mixing centigrade and Fahrenheit unless it really boiled the tank. So it caused the very thing I feared. I emailed Inkbird with photos, they never responded. I no longer use controllers. So I didn't think that was somebody having a go at me at the time. I thought that was just someone starting a conversation. So I said, well, even if your heater was on, the heater would have to be broken as well as the controller, because heaters have thermostats in them. And I was trying not to say this, and I don't believe you, because the chances of both a controller and a heater failing at the same time was very slim. Heaters fail all the time. Heaters are more complex. Heaters are doing the heating. They're packing lots of technology. It's not really technology, but they've got a thermostat in with a heating element in the middle of a glass tube with all these other components around it and underwater. So there's lots to go wrong there. If the heater heats up too much, it can wear out the thermostat, because thermostats, they are basically mechanical, but so they can break. Yeah, it's very common for that to break. Heater controllers are basically a thermometer that's going, what's the temperature, what's the temperature, what's the temperature, and depending on the answer is power on or power off. That's all they're doing. They're not, there's no heating element, they're not controlling they're not doing any of the doing, they're just controllers, they're just on or off. So it's a lot simpler, a lot harder to break. I'm not saying it never happens, but so she was saying that no, the heater stayed on because the controller was reading the temperature as being too low, so kept the heater on continuously higher and higher. It was a fault with the controller. And that's just not how it works. The controller's just telling the heater to be on or to be off. If you set the heater at 26 and the controller tells it to be on, if the temperature's over 26, the heater still won't actually come on, because its thermostat's telling it to cut the power. So unless the heater's broken and the controller's broken, I call shenanigans. But yeah, it can happen, but just there's so many people, the amount of people that tell me, why are you keeping your heaters on in summer? I was like, why wouldn't I keep my heaters on in summer? The heaters don't heat if the water's hot. If you switch your heater off, you've got more chance of forgetting to switch it back on when you actually need it to come on. If you just let it do its thing that it's designed for, it'll be fine. Anyway, that's all. So let me see if I can get a few more comments. Oh yeah, and apologies and I was going to say considerations. That's not the word. Consolations? No. I'm sorry for your loss, basically, for all your pleco soup. That's, if nothing else, it evokes a lovely image of a smell that I would not like to hear. One dead snail's not nice. One dead pleco's not nice, but several of both cooked. Yo Beard, is that my name? Is that what you're calling me now? Am I now Yo Beard? I'll take it. I've never been able to grow a beard and still can't very well, so. But still. No. Try Tetley's number 4, it's a nice lager. Tetley's number 4? I don't recognise that as a thing. I know Tetley's and tea. Tetley's number 4 premium lager. Okay. Just looking to see if I recognise it. I have not tried that. Oh, Jab's in nice and early. Courtney, is that you back? Can we start now? Oh, you're on your way home, but joining us soon. Sorry, I'm still getting through the hellos. So Christine, hello. We've got James as well. Good evening. Hello there. You could easily make a video on heater sticking on. Make some money off your loss. Well, there you go. I've just given you some talking points there. Cock cam? No cock cam today. Noodle sandwich. Good evening. Oh, we've had a new subscriber, G Evans. Thank you for subscribing, G Evans, whoever you are. 19 likes. I'm sure we can do better. Come on, everyone. Courtney, we got our spanner shirts today. Yay! So now the whole of the mod team should now have spanner shirts. I haven't even got a spanner shirt. I didn't think this through when I ordered all the spanner shirts. So spanner shirts are our moderator t-shirts. I'm sporting the hoodie today. All this merchandise available on aquariumadventures.co.uk. But yeah, so I'm sporting the hoodie with the logo design. So all the mods have now got, I think, t-shirts or polos where they have the logo of their choice and they have Aquarium Adventures on the sleeve. Much like that. But with a spanner logo underneath. Shall we put the slideshow up and see if we can... We might even see a couple of them. So up here, this, if you ever buy anything off my website, so that's where I was going with this. If you want to buy some merch, we have various logos, t-shirts, jumpers, hoodies, polo shirts, towels, all that kind of stuff. Supports the channel, helps me replace all the equipment that I break routinely, and keeps the channel going. So if you want any of that, buy it, send me a picture, and we'll stick you up here. You can have a look. There's Simon, not Scott, with his actual spanner and halo. And there's me, apparently. But we might also do a bit of a giveaway later and give you a chance to win one of these things maybe. If you're the person who won last week, I sincerely apologise. I completely missed your email and I only found it today, so I will get that out as soon as I can. Chow with Lau. There's another channel you go and check out. So Michael has his own channel about cookery mainly. I've been trying some of his recipes out, but he won, I think he won, or he might have bought it, I can't remember, but he was sporting one of my shirts in his video. So go and check out Chow with Lau and check out his latest video, char siu prawns I think it was, and you can see him wearing my t-shirt. I'm sure he'll tell you it's fantastic quality and great value and all those good things. But go and check out his channel anyway. Yes, I thought of you the other day as I was saying to him over email. We've got a few Oriental supermarkets in the Oriental district in Sheffield, so we were there the other week. I was speed watching all your videos, looking for recipe ideas and going, oh right, what can I use? What do I need to get that? And try the spring rolls. Delicious. So very good, easy to follow recipes. Kaylee's in as well. Good evening. Just got back from work. What you all do when you're... Why are you all finishing work at this time of night? What's going on? There you go. Scott made your seaweed the other day. Excellent. Fishy question. I think we've got our first fishy question. Tips on getting rid of Blackbeard algae. I think you mean Blackbeard algae. C isn't even next to B. Are you a bit tipsy already, Chris? Tips on getting rid of Blackbeard algae. I do have a video on this, but long story short, you can try things like Seachem XL along with hydrogen peroxide or hydrogen peroxide on its own for small outbreaks or early caught outbreaks. That's really good. I recommend that, and like maybe doubling or tripling your water change. So if you do it once every 2 weeks, do it once every week or maybe twice a week for a few weeks till you get on top of it, because it's usually some kind of imbalance. And if you if you upgrade your water change routine, that will usually get on top of it a bit of H2O2, that hydrogen peroxide, HO, is it? I can't remember. HO3, no. What an idiot I am sometimes. Hang on. H2O2, I was right. Yes, it's got a... Let me... every time I do that bloody thing, it presses the button. That's not what I want to do. So I do have a video. I will find it and put a link to it in the chat in just a second when I finally figure it out. That's not chat, that's Discord. Here's the chat. Come on, Graham, you can do this. There you go. Is that going to go? So that's my video on H2O2. Captain Cupcakes used the T word and been banned. only for a second, sorry. But yes, I agree, Blackbeard algae is a twat. So please go and watch that video, and that'll give you my attempts to get rid of the Blackbeard algae, which did work. I think it was this tank that I was doing it, and it did work, but bad outbreaks didn't really work. And in the end, I tried all those techniques again on my main tank when I'd left it far too long, and it got overrun with Blackbeard algae, and nothing was attacking that. In the end, I bought those silver flying foxes, which I always advise against buying something to do a job, but I did think they looked like really cool fish as well, so I bought them and they wiped it out in like a week. The only challenge there is if you do buy something like that, make sure you want the fish for the fish's sake themselves, and once they've done the job that you've asked them to do, make sure you can feed them and keep them going afterwards. So, there you go. That was a long-winded answer to a simple question. And the other thing I would say is, hiding behind this picture is a link to our Discord server. I'm sure one of the mods will put the link in there as well. Get some pictures up, join Discord, send us some pictures, ask for some advice there, and lots of very helpful people there, and we'll sure we'll help you figure it out. Okay. Recommendations for compact heaters for my sump. I'm going to use an Inkbird to control it. Tis a problem, isn't it, getting big heaters? So it depends on the size of your tank, because what I would normally recommend, if size is an option, is the more wattage the heater has, the bigger they tend to be. There's lots of these LED ones these days, which are like square blocks. They might work well. But what I would probably do would be, depending on which Inkbird it is, get 2 heaters. So if you need 200 watts worth of heating power, get 2 100 watt heaters, and they'll tend to be a bit smaller, and you can plug them both into your Inkbird, and that gives you a bit of redundancy as well as meeting your requirement. So I hear the older Inkbird models, the probes weren't entirely waterproof. Not sure. Yes, definitely heard that, or I've seen lots of people who've posted pictures of their probes. And I think the fact that Inkbird sold replacement probes spoke volumes. They still do sell replacement probes for the newer ones, but I bought one. Haven't used it that extensively, so I can't use my own experience, but I know lots of people have said, yes, this is much better. It's nothing like the old ones. So should be better with a newer one. Yeah, I thought that as well. So I think that person might have got the most heateriest heater that you could ever heat with. Well, isn't 80, is 26 degrees 80 Fahrenheit? I thought it was something like 28, but I can never be bothered to use the conversion tools. But anyway, question from Chris Cares. I think that was the one we've just asked. Right, let's see if we can get to the bottom. Yeah, and so, as Rebecca's saying here, most heaters are badly made, and the constant switching off and on damages the thermostat. And that's right, there's a lot of engineering going into a very small space, so lots of opportunities for failure. As we used to say in the Six Sigma world. Don't know why I brought that up. Anyway. Let's see if we can get down to the bottom. There you go. Ciao with Lau. Thanks for my polo shirt. Aquarium Adventures, really good quality. I've put it to good use already, as you know. Indeed. Right, I must be quite far behind here. Let's see if we can get down to the bottom. Mountain Goldfish, not seen you for a while. Nice to see you. Just got here. Have I missed much? No, I'm still saying hello to everyone. I've not got past the hello stage and we're already half an hour in. Right, come on, let's crack on, Graham. Courtney's home. Well done, Courtney. That's like the internet equivalent of 2 bells. I have a weird female bristlenose that likes to eat Blackbeard algae and sleeps on her back. I have had a lot of bristlenose plecos that like to give me the heebie-jeebies, and you'll come down and you'll turn on the light or you'll see the tank and I'll have like 2 or 3 of them just like and I saw one of them one night. It was like on the roof of the cave, quite happily munching away, and it literally, you could tell it had just fallen asleep because it munching, and it got slower and slower and slower, and then it just went meow. Like, oh crap, woke up. So yeah, I don't know, there's a thing about plecos sleeping on their backs, but I've never had any eat BBA other than really small ones. I know they've had a go at it, but it's just not worth it. That's not what I meant to say. It's just they've just not been very good or efficient at it. There's me. I'm putting in that's the link to the video that I was talking about. Just filling shelves, nothing exciting this time. Going to wind down with a glass of Jack watching the live stream. Nice. Captain Cook, a bit harsh. It is, but unless I spend hours tediously going through all Nightbot and things like that, saying, no, you twat's fine, but see you next Tuesday isn't, it's just going to happen. So you'll only get banned for like a second. And you never know, there might be some lilting snowflake that gets offended by this kind of stuff. So doodly-doo-doo-doo. There you go, there's Scott with the Discord link, so join us all in Discord. So we turn off the slideshows now. Oh, any ideas on how to get rid of Hydra? I think you need to call the Avengers. That's my way of saying, no, I don't have any idea how to get rid of Hydra. There are lots of things that leak Hydra. But again, you're into the buying things for doing one job, and then once they've done the job, what are you going to do with them? There you go. Bendazole will kill Hydra, but also kills snails. I've had some snails, not particularly hardy snails, but I've had some live through bendazole treatments before. But yeah, it's a bit of a risk, let's say. 2 heaters with an Inkbird works well. Yeah, I think most of the Inkbirds these days have got 2 power slots. The Degenerate Fishkeeper, I saw your video the other day on your... I did watch it, honest. I'm just having a complete mind blank. Oh, the Blind Cavefish, yeah, that was a pretty cool video. Well, enjoyed that. Mupplestrut Aquatics is in. Good evening, sir. Anyone used an Inkbird to control a room heater in the fish room? I have not. I have used... So I've never used Inkbirds before. That recent video I made with an Inkbird, that's my first ever Inkbird. I've always used the Levitating STC 1000s, I think they are. They're designed for heating and cooling, but they're designed for like, brewing. And you can literally hook up anything, it's fine. Has this camera got a connection issue? Which one? Big Face? Or it could be one of the other ones. I don't know. What's your nitrate level in the Discus tank? Mine is currently at 0, but my plants are starting to grade even with liquid ferts and root tabs. My nitrate level kind of hovers between 5 and 10. I don't want to start another biohome good or nonsense debate, but I have a sump filled with biohome and all other manner of media and very deep beds, so there are lots of places where we can do the nitrifying bacteria can get eaten up. So quite low, and I have first dosed with a doser, like normally, which should be to use on marine tanks and things like that. I just dose my TNC Light is the one that my fertilizer of choice at the moment. I've been using that for a while and getting good results, and TNC Iron supplement. So that's the two that I use at the moment. Oh, I think my mouse is dying. That's going to be a pain. There are ghosts. Where are there ghosts? Or is that because Sharpie's in? Is he bringing his supernatural nonsense back to my live stream? Right, I think this is your 5-minute warning, Tim. I'm nearing the bottom of the chat, and then we'll do the Meet the Mods number 4, I think. I'm just trying to keep up with some of the chat. Oh, Mickey's in. Good evening, Mickey. Right, I think we're down. Mush the Snowman saying paradise fish or mollies will love Hydra. Is there anything that mollies don't eat? I might need to get a tank of mollies at some point. I've never actually kept them. But I'll need to try them. Right, I'm going to have to try and open Discord, so just talk amongst yourselves for a minute, because I didn't set this up earlier. I need to... What do I need to do? I need to press that button. It's Alt. Well prepared, aren't I? I am a professional, honest. If I go on here... Oh, I can see Tim.
Yep.
Why is it not going into that channel for me? There we go, right. I think everyone can hear you, but I'll just try and set up the picture-in-picture type business. There we go, there you are. I have to apologise for the glacial look that's on my face whenever I try and do this, because I'm always like, if I move that screen over there, will I be able to hear anything? Let's turn that down. Get the headphones so I can hear you. It's like butter, this stream, isn't it? There we go. Right. I can't hear anything. Why can't I hear anything? There we go. I can hear something now. So... I've just seen a comment there. Not that one. D Snuts has a question about Stinker Discus parameters. Yeah, I'll look for that in a minute. So, everyone, we have been doing for the last few weeks Meet the Moderators, where we get to find a little bit about the background, a bit about their fishy credentials, what's brought them into the hobby, what keeps them engaged in the hobby. Get some of our moderators on, so we will switch over now and introduce Tim. Good evening, sir. Are you just standing very still, or has your camera frozen?
Oh no, I'm you.
I think your camera's frozen.
Oh no,
it's all right. Oh, there we go.
Frozen?
There we go. There
yeah,
we go.
it does. Yeah, is it frozen? Is it?
It's better now. It's better now.
All right.
Back to this. Yeah, that's better. So, Tim, tell us a little bit about yourselves. What do you do for a living? What's your mother's maiden name? What's your bank account number? All that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'm a lorry driver. I'm trucking up and down the UK.
How long have you been doing that?
18 years, no? 18 years. But it's been a mixture of driving lorries and coaches as well. It's basically my license is like completely full now. There's nothing left for me to do.
So you can drive anything from a bicycle up to a 18-wheeler and anything but tanks. All right.
yeah. I just need to do tanks next. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I'm almost old enough where I had one of those licenses. When you qualified, you automatically got almost everything apart from HGVs. So every time I look at my license, I go, "Oh, I can do caravans, towing a trailer, towing other." Oh, brilliant!
Go and work for Royal Mail, get 55 grand a year.
So, what's it like being a trucker, especially with fish tanks? Because you must be away from home quite a lot.
To be honest, if it wasn't for the wife and the children helping me out on it, I couldn't have them. Basically, it's on the weekends I do the water changes and the general, the main maintenance. But as it goes for feeding the fish and making sure that they're all okay. Like it's basically the wife and kids fed Oostrom, and it's not their hobby. It's just they like looking at the fish. So if it wasn't for them, coming home, I'd they'd be very hungry fish. You know what I mean?
You'd have a lot of work to do. Yeah. Well, it's good that you can get the family involved and they don't complain too much.
Yeah. Well, it's like this weekend now. I finished work today. I got tomorrow off, and I'm back working Sunday and going up to Newcastle on Sunday. So it's it's a mad day tomorrow. Again, make sure everything's getting ready for work. All my clothes are changed, ready to go. I'm doing the water changes as well. So
are you generally away for a week at a time sort of thing?
Yeah. I normally go away on it's either Sunday or Monday, and I don't return until a Friday then. So we're away for a week. So this is where I am now. This is my holiday home. My actual home is a lorry.
Yeah. Spend more time there than you do at home.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to run through the same sort of questions that I've asked everyone else. So tell us a bit about your background. What got you into fish keeping? And so I like to ask this two ways. What got you into it, and what's keeping you in it?
Right. Obviously, I grew up around my parents having fish, and the likes. I kept a few things myself over the years, but really, down to the small things. Never big tanks or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then it just because I didn't have the time for them, I couldn't dedicate enough time for the fish, And then my uncle then was giving up his, he couldn't look after his tank, so I inherited that at the beginning of the year, and pretty much that one tank is only since the beginning of this year that one tank has led to 3. But I've always looked after, my father's tanks and stuff like that. As he's got older, I've been helping him maintain his tanks and stuff, doing the regular water changes and stuff. But I thought, I asked the wife, do you mind if we have a tank? And she agreed, and it was just like, oh, okay. So, I've, only got back into it since, properly since the beginning of the year,
So I guess lockdown would have probably helped with that, because it gives you a lot more time to get started. Oh, well, you'll have been a key worker, won't you? You'll have been out and about during lockdown.
I think I spent more time outside the house than I did inside the house.
I bet you did.
I got stopped by the police a few times as well on the way to work. Where are you off to? Well, I'm going to work. Where do you work? On the lorries. Oh, right. You're good to go on the way. No, you can send me home. No, you're good to go. It's okay. No, you can send me home, honestly. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even get out of it,
I must admit, I was a bit gutted because I had to continue working through lockdown as well. But not doing anything as vital as delivering things to places they need to be. It was just farting about with computers.
The roads were a lot quieter, though.
I know, it was great fun.
Unlike now.
So you basically dabbled since a kid, and you've just got into it properly, let's call it, over the last year. Yeah, proper novice. What changed,
so to speak?
What is it that keeps you in it? What is it you like about it? What made you get your own tank?
Obviously, I felt the need to, obviously, because my uncle was he gave me his tank. he was going to sell it otherwise. But I felt that
So
doing
opportunity
him,
more than anything else.
Yeah, and doing him the benefit that he could always pop up here and see how well the tank's doing. Like since the tank first moved here, he had it was all artificial plants and everything like that, and now it's all a live planted tank. Like what I mean, so he's looking at it and. I've spent out on the filters and added a few more to the community tank, like so he's so it's something for him to go up to, and come here and look and appreciate it as well. But it's nice when people come around and they look at the tanks and go, wow, what I mean, it's
always nice when you get that reaction, isn't it?
Yeah, and you just think that's my work, like what I mean. So
yeah, I say the same thing. It's like a bit of living art, and you're the one that's helping to create that and maintain it. So what have you got? What are you keeping in there?
Right, in the 180 litre tank, I've got some people are probably going to shout about me on this one, but I've got a few guppies in there. I was starting to get overwhelmed with guppies, so I got a few police in there, so to speak, angelfish.
Crowd control.
But they leave. They do chase them about the tanks, like but they tend to leave the bigger ones alone. But they will. A few of the fry do survive, but it's what it would be in the wild, like. So yeah, I still do have babies. There's plenty of spaces in there for the fry to hide, like what I mean. But obviously, the stronger will survive. Like, I got a couple of albino cories in that tank, and some not. I can't remember the name of them, but they're the normal patterns you normally tend to see in the fish shops. Got a few of them. What else have I got? 2 giant African shrimp in that tank. Which keep on frightening me, by the way, especially after a water change. A few times I've gone there and I've seen a full casing of them where they've shredded their skin, and I'm thinking, oh my god, it just passed away.
And they're big as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't see them that often, like because they're in the cave, like you're like, oh no, because I really like them. Like, what else have I got in that tank? Yo-yo loaches. I've got a few of them. I really like yo-yo loaches.
I saw you were thinking about trying to breed them, weren't you?
Well, I haven't tried. I just noticed one's gone a bit. I just noticed one's gone a bit plump, like. So it's either he's ate too much food or it's got eggs, like. So I got to do a bit of research into that, whether to put it into another tank and see if I can get get some fry off them in the end, like. But it's all a learning process, and that's one thing about the hobby. It's always a learning process.
Yeah, I keep telling everyone you don't complete fish keeping, you just keep learning more and more about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. In a tank just behind me here, this is a bit more of an experiment tank, because I don't know if you could see, but I just hold it down. You can see that big bit of timber sticking out. That's actually come from the local, the stone in the local woods there. So it was a few things, like a couple of bits of rock and everything like that I picked up to put in the tank and everything. Yeah, forage tank, just as an experiment. And in that tank, and I got some yo-yo loaches, angelfish, neon tetras. What else I got in there? Cherry barbs and glow light tetras in that one. Oh, and I got plecos as well. And then in the small tank behind me there, well, the 55 litre is my betta then in that one.
All right, what kind of betta have you got?
I don't know if it's a fantail that he's down in the bottom at the moment. I'll see if I can. This is going to be quite difficult. I'm going to see if I can.
We're about to lose you.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see him. Can you see him just down there?
Oh yeah, blue and red.
Yeah.
Lovely.
There's better pictures in the there's better pictures of him in the Discord.
Yes. So saying that, anyone, if you have any questions for Tim or want to know, by all means stick them in the chat and we'll have a go at answering them. But while you think up some of those questions, I'll ask you my bunch of quick fire questions and see.
Yeah, not complicated ones. They're not.
What is the square root of the hypotenuse of the? No.
Yeah. I stay out the windscreen for a living. I proved the teacher wrong on that one.
Well, that means nothing. That doesn't mean. Some of the smartest people in the world apparently are my colleagues, and they're freaking idiots sometimes. But anyway, what's your favourite part of the hobby? We'll try and do this in a bit of a quick fire bit. What do you like?
showing other people.
Your least favourite part?
The water changes are really annoying me at the moment, just because I've got to lug everything from the kitchen back into the tanks. I need to find more of a way that I can drain the tank out and obviously refill it without having to handball everything. I guess the
buckets are the bane of the fish keeper's life.
Well, yeah, and the wife complains then where everything goes over the floor. Big trip or something.
You'll need to get but everyone always suggests a python. I've never actually had a python myself, but everyone swears by them, says they're brilliant. I just
have a look into them.
It's basically a hose that you can run upstairs because the water pressure makes it work. Any other hose will work just as well. So, dream fish. If you could have any fish you wanted, have you got something that you aspire to? If you win the lottery tomorrow and you can get a big massive tank or whatever it is.
Something I'm working towards, which would be the Terra green chillid.
Green Terras, yeah.
Yeah. That's like, like a goal for me to work for. So I know they're quite complicated to look after. Like, well, not so much complicated to look after, but for somebody of my experiences, I've got a lot to learn just yet.
Well, there's plenty of channels out there that focus on the South American cichlids, and you'll find plenty of good stuff there. What about favourite fish that you've got at the moment?
I got to be honest, I like a lot of fish, but the one which has stuck me from childhood has got to be the Neon Tetra. I know it's a simple fish and everything like that, but it inspired me as a kid, and the first thing I'd done when I got back into this was go out and get some Neon Tetras, like so.
I think that was my first fish as well, was Neon Tetras when I was a kid, even though my dad still argues that that's not the case. Have you been doing it long enough to have a least favourite fish?
I don't know. Least favourite fish at the present moment in time. The one thing I'm not liking at the moment is the ramhorn snails, because they're just everywhere. I ain't got nothing to eat them at the moment, so yeah.
Well, if you get into green terrors, I'm sure they'll eat them, and they'll keep them in check
definitely.
for you. For my part, it's Geophagus. It's the one fish I've never met such an arsehole as Geophagus, the just destroyer of aquascapes. But anyway, what's the best tip you've learned from all years? I mean, this is a good one to ask someone who's fairly new to the hobby. What have you found most useful?
Best tip, I can't remember whose YouTube channel it was, but he was going on about tips for newcomers, and one of them was, don't go out buying every single source of food. Like, if the fish like it and they enjoy it and they're doing well, then keep buying it. There's no need to. You could spend hundreds of pounds on all different types of food. It's yeah.
You can spend hundreds of pounds to have shelves full of food that go out of date. Yeah, because the fish won't have it.
Yeah, and I started going down that road, and to be honest with you, one of the things that a bit of a promo here. Look, one of the things that. That I get. That
looks like a good quality packaging and food there. Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah, the bug flake like is a pretty good, and my beta's favourite is Artemisia, which is
Artemia. That's one of my favourite foods ever. I love that stuff. Well, I don't, because I don't eat it. The fish love it. That's what I'll say. Last question then. Again, it sounds like my kids asked this question, but it was my wife. If you had to be a fish, what type of fish would you be, and why?
I've thought about this, and I thought about it, and I struggled, and to be honest with you...
well, I've always said I'd be a discus because they're beautiful and slow.
I've thought about it, and to be honest with you, it's only recently I started having the yo-yo loaches, and I think I'd be a yo-yo loach because they've just got energy from the moment the light goes on until it goes off. Like, they just flat out.
I suppose that's quite
an analogy. If I had that much energy, I'd be landed. Like,
that's quite an analogy for a trucker because they're always up and down shooting around, aren't they?
Well, 9 to 10 hours of the day, I'm pretty much sitting on my on my bottom.
But you're moving.
yeah. Well, I did. Was it 10 hours of driving on? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? And I covered 854 kilometers, which is about 530 miles. So yeah, so
yes,
beat any runner in a day, innit? So
well, I think that takes it out of you as well, because I've a few times I've done. So I live in Sheffield, but obviously I'm from Glasgow. So that's 250 miles each way, and I've done a few times where I've gone up and come back in the same day, and you're shattered, or well, I'm shattered at doing that. It takes it out of you, because you can't just sit there and switch off, can you?
The most I done was in a car. Drove down to Portsmouth. Plymouth. Yeah, Portsmouth. Caught the ferry over to Cairn. Drove down to Valencia. Had a couple of hours kept because we were bringing back a tortoise, a giant tortoise. It was huge, about 10 stone in weight.
Wow.
And then we drove back and caught the overnight ferry back, but I stopped in Bordeaux for a break, and I said to him, we can catch the overnight ferry, and I drove non-stop for 7.5 hours to catch that ferry. And the only reason we had to stop in Cairn was because obviously we needed fuel.
Yeah.
The Fed used that car. It was like an M-Reg Mitsubishi show wagon or something like that. It was, I don't know what it was, but it done the job, like.
Excellent.
For what it was.
So I would normally ask, who do you want to nominate, but I think we've only got Jennifer left that we haven't done. But
well, we still got Mickey as well.
Oh, of course we have.
Yeah, we still got Mickey as well. Now, I got to be honest with you, Mickey's the one which I've known Mickey for a fair few years, and Mickey's the one which introduced me to yourself, and obviously the community as well. Like, because obviously, me and Mick run. We've got a few Discord communities that we've done gaming ones mainly.
For those who aren't aware, Tim basically helped me set up my Discord. Well, it was set up, but you've made it work. That's always good.
And obviously we got the Aqua Guild as well, like, so we got CBE group and obviously Aqua Guild as well, like. But yeah, Mickey's a good boy, but I'm going to leave Mickey until last. I think we will go with Jennifer.
Okay, so Jen, you've heard you have to cancel date night next week. Well, maybe not next week, but we'll talk about that the next time we do a stream, whenever that is. And then finally, what would you like to plug? So you mentioned there earlier you've got Aqua Guild. That's a thing. Yep. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's something else. I'll give you 30 seconds. What do you want to talk about?
Well, there's one thing that we're working on at the moment, which is obviously our gaming community, which I know is a bit different to Fish. But obviously, if you're into any sort of gaming, so like PlayStation, PC, and it's like first-person shooters, and you just want a community that you can just jump online and play together with, then that's one thing that we that's getting back up on track again now. So if you go to cbe.group, that's the website. It's got to be finished by Sunday, but I may extend the website a bit longer on that one, obviously, just because I'm cut short a bit this weekend because of work. So maybe extend it until next week. But the link is in there to hit the Discord server if you want to take a look at that. And so that's if you're interested in gaming. If you're interested in Fish, just make sure you join the AA Discord. It's well worth it. You learn a lot, and that's all you got to do is just ask a question, and somebody helps you, and you don't even have to pay for it. It's totally free.
Excellent. Well, drop a link in the chat, or maybe wait until it's finished and then drop a link in next week's chat or something like that. But by all means, everyone, go and check it out if you're into that sort of thing. But for that, we'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yep.
Wasn't too terrible, was it?
And it's the PC's running a bit slow, so I didn't want to run it through the PC, so I'm just running it through my phone on the Wi-Fi.
No worries.
And I think the kids are on at the same time as well.
I know. Every time I start a stream, I've got 3 kids that all go on the Xbox at the same time, and I'm going for my bandwidth.
Yeah, it's mad because it's 500. It's half a gig a second downloading as well, and they've still managed to slow it down. God knows.
Well, thank you very much. I'll let you go there,
no
Tim.
Problem.
And see, it wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be after all.
No, definitely.
Right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the chat, and we'll see you in Discord afterwards.
Yeah. No worries. Thank you very much.
Cheery bye. Yeah. And then we'll switch back to my face. Ugh. Why would anyone want to do that? So there we go. We've got through almost all the mods. I think we've only got 2 left now to do. Like I say, we've got Mickey and Jennifer. So Jennifer, you're up. Let me find the chat, and we can see. Oh, I forgot to check the chat to see if there was any questions for you there, Tim. I am sorry. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. I've lost my chat now. There we go. There you go. I think this is one for you probably. I have a fountain pump, £20 attached to the hose, pump in the tank to drain the tank, pump in the tank to drain the tank, and a bucket in the sink to fill the tank. Yeah. I'm totally down with buckets. I think I've got a video called Down with Buckets, because I can't be doing with them. I just run hoses all over the house and fill and empty tanks that way. It's much easier when you have a fish room, obviously, because then everything's centralised. But I do have tanks in here that I fill out the window. I've got my big tank which I fill out the window as well. As Simon says, big up the Neon Tetras. I have a pump when I used Arrow Maidenhead Aquatics. Used to sell pumps that fitted onto jerry cans. That'd have been useful. Green terrors can be insane but stunning fish. Yeah, I mean, most of the American cichlids are a bit... I don't want to cast aspersions on their mental health, but they're a bit nuts, aren't they? I had a Texas cichlid for a while that was absolutely gorgeous, but it was mad as a bag of spanners. Went to an LFS this week and they had black nasties in. Blurb said they happily murder fish 3 times their size. Yeah, some of the American cichlids are just like... my fear is that I would walk into some and go, that's pretty, buy one, keep it, and just have it like completely wipe out a tank. Obviously, you should never do that because you'd always do your research first, but you never hear about this in the... When you look up like the regular places, they don't say absolutely batshit crazy will kill everything in your tank. They might say, oh, prone to nipping fins. And you're like, well, they say that about barbs, and barbs don't just kill for fun. Oh, we've got Gambia Rands in. Sorry, is that a question that I've missed? No, not yet. Yes, Mickey, excellent advice there. Why not check out the store and get your Aquarium Adventures foods? I wholeheartedly agree. Why not? You should definitely do that. Wow, a beard makes you look much older. See, that's the kind of thing that it's nice when you're like 12 and wanting to buy beer, looking much older. The guy in the co-op said, you must have had a tough paper route. I was like, what the hell? Just trying to buy some beer, and he's like, oh, you got any ID? Ha ha ha. So I did the old, oh yeah, made my day, ha ha ha. And he's like, yeah, I'm joking, you're way too old to be. I was like, alright, you don't have to go way too old. He's like, oh, you must have had a tough paper route. So you cheeky bastard. But yes, what a beard makes me look old. I think it's the fact that I'm old makes me look old, but there you go. Alex says, I'd be a pleco. They do piss all day in, day out, but can still be worth some serious money. There's a good one. Oh, and you get shouted at by Streamlabs for that one as well. Sounds like the guest is from my neck of the woods in Wales. So that was one of our moderators. As you've not been here for a while, we're doing a Meet the Mod section in the live stream, so everyone gets to know each other. You can join us on the Discord server because that's where everyone hangs out, and then you get to meet them and find out what makes them tick and why they're into fish. And so far we've had some really good answers. So like Tim's there, his least favourite bit is water changes, but then last week Simon and mine, our favourite bits were the water changes, so it takes all sorts. What are your top 3 public aquariums in the UK? Nah, that's going to be a tricky one. So in the UK we have things called the Sea Life Centres, and various towns dotted around the country have a Sea Life Centre, and that's your big public aquarium. They have well, depending on where you're coming from, they're either great or they're the most evil, terrible thing in the world. But they will have like little touch pools and things like that where you're a bit like, I'm not sure this is great, but I mean the kids do love it and all that kind of stuff. But then they'll have everything's with an educational slant, which is good. But then they'll have big, massive tanks and big displays and sharks and all that kind of stuff. But they're much of a muchness. So one sea life centre is very much like the next sea life centre. One of them will have sharks, and then the other one will have, I don't know, a big Pacu display, and another one. So they'll all specialise in one thing. Another one will be turtles. Like the one that there's one in London, and right in the centre of London, right next to the London Eye, they've got a sea life centre there, and they've got penguins, as you do. But anyway, I don't know why I've gone off on a tangent there. But they famously have a turtle that likes to pretend to be dead. So there's like a sign up there saying, please ignore this. Snowy the turtle, it's not called Snowy, whatever it is. He's not dead, he just likes to hang out here. So as you go and ask one of our staff if he's okay, we get asked this question 500 times a day, he's fine. So there's all those sea life centres. I find it hard to pick one over the other, being better. There's a place in Hull called The Deep. That's pretty good. And then probably, I'm struggling to think of another. There's another one at Alton Towers, but that's good because it's surrounded by a theme park, so you can go on roller coasters and then you can go and look at the fish. So I'd probably go with them. So I hope that answers your question. See, you've made it to 45 without needing to swim. I don't think you'll need to learn now. You know what's going to happen tonight, don't you? You're going to find yourself walking by a canal and you're going to fall in and drown. And we'll all go, ha, told you so. We won't. We'll be very sad and all that, but then we'll say, ha, told you so. You should have learned to swim. It's great learning to swim. Everyone should do it. Good job, Tim. Good job, Tim. Smashed it, Tim. Well done, Tim. Did brilliantly. Excellent. I collect people's unwanted salt buckets for filter cleanse and stuff. I'm sure that's part of a conversation that I've missed the start of it. But most Americans are a bit mad. Texas, they breed like rats. Nightbot and Streamlabs are fuming. The only spanners who don't have a t-shirt. I'm not sending a t-shirt to a nameless robot. Checked out the store, no shrimp, disappointed face. Well, we might have more soon. So the reason the store's a bit the reason the store is a bit sparse on livestock and things like that is because I've obviously been having a clear out and they're shutting down all my tanks. So should we do house news? That's the wrong button, I didn't need to press that. I was trying to press... Ooh. I was trying to press drumroll, but I didn't mean to press that either. But anyway. So last week we told you that today we were going to exchange and then next Friday we were going to complete. So that means today we sign all the contracts and then next Friday is moving day and we do all the moves. So today is pretty much finished and we haven't signed any contracts. So I don't know what the fricking's going on. So we're hoping that we still might be on for next week, but exchange might be on Monday. But it's so hard to tell. We've got our buyer, the person we're buying the house from, has threatened to pull out because it's taking too long. The person who's buying our house, their solicitor's gone on holiday and they're not back until Monday next week, and no one's covering for them. So we're like, what does that mean? What are we going to do about that? So it's all very much in the balance. So if we move next week, there might not be a live stream next week. But if there is a live stream next week, it's because we haven't moved. So that's the house news. And the house news is when once we've moved, I can start to build out my fish room and start to get more tanks and buy some livestock rather than getting rid of livestock, which is what I'm doing at the moment. So hopefully we'll get there. You've obviously seen my videos that I've got with my new digs where I'm setting up the temporary fish room. So there's going to be weeks of me moving around tanks before we get to that point, even if we do move next week, before we move back into the new house and the fish room there. So give me 3 or 4 weeks and then we might start selling again. I do have plenty of shrimp, but I need to move them around so much that I'm just not selling any at the moment. So sorry about that. There is plenty of food though, and there's plenty of merch all ready to go. So if you want any of that stuff, pardon me. If you want any of that stuff, you can get all that. The black hyacinth cichlid is the meanest I've ever seen. I don't think I've not heard of that, unless that is the black nasty, which I've heard of but never seen here. Oh, that's a good word, isn't it, Kaylee? The best word I ever saw describing a non-friendly fish was pugnacious. I do like that word. I thought many species were aggressive, but Hemichromis frempongi. See, this is how you're going to catch me out with these names. Every time, if it's a plant or a fish with a Latin name, I just feel like I'm trying to cast a spell. And I've always got in the back of my mind, you lot are always trying to catch me out and make me say something rude. So hopefully that answers your question. Probably 3 or 4, once I get settled in the new house, then I'll have some sherry shrimp and I'll update the website. The Deep, yeah, the Deep is a great aquarium. I quite enjoyed the Deep. I remember it getting built and getting opened, and it had such a massive hype. And then when I went the first time, I was a bit like, eh. But when I went back more recently, it was really good, and I think they do quite a lot of good things as well, conservation-wise. So I quite liked that. Ooh. So, I judge public aquariums on number of freshwater fishes. Most aquariums rate well. Most of them are marine. They have a heavy slant in marine. Ugh, I'm trying to remember which one it was that had some really good displays of freshwater fish. I'm sure I made a video about it as well, so I might come back to that one. Have I ever been to Blue Planet? I haven't been to Blue Planet, no, but yes, Fishman Aquatics video made it look quite good. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one. So there you go, Gambi Aran, Blue Planet Aquarium, Cheshire Oaks, Ellesmere Port, really good, just a little pricey. And then you can do all your shopping at the Outlet Village, excellent. Yeah, there's almost no good freshwater aquariums in the States either. Since stores are better than most shops, our zoos do freshwater and jungle exhibits that are better than our public aquariums. It just made me laugh because I read something else. Somebody saying, "Shall we go to the the water zoo?" And you're like, "Do you mean aquarium?" A good sea life centre in Chester. I think I've been to that one as well. Yeah, that was pretty good. Blue Planet was great. The freshwater section was larger than the marine section. Oh, I might have to give it a go then. Sea Life Manchester have Feed the Turtle and Dive with Shark sessions. Yes. The Sea Life Centre in Manchester was pretty good actually. I quite liked that one. And it's also right next to like Lego World. So if you get bored with the fish, you can go and play with Lego. Blue Planet seems to be the rare exception. Yeah, I've got a few mentions for Blue Planet there. Where is it? Maybe we can do a wee trip. I'm googling Blue Planet now, but it's obviously going to come back and tell me all about David Attenborough, isn't it? Oh, there you go. Cheshire. Ellesmere Port. Is that right? Well, it's kind of on the same level as me, but yeah, it's kind of underneath Liverpool, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, you never know. Worth a day out, maybe one day. Alright. Sorry, I'm all discombobulated. I can't find my screen. Where have you gone, chat? Have I had any complaints from the new neighbours? Not yet. Yeah, I had to give over with my banging. I don't know if anyone's ever used that kind of racking, but I've tried a few different brands now. I quite like the Big Dog stuff, but they're all much of a muchness. Once it's up, I love it, because it's kind of, you just have to forget about it. It's great stuff. It's really sturdy, it's really strong. Even when you spill on it and the wood warps, the steel's brilliant, it holds, it's great. But getting the stuff together, what a nightmare that stuff is. All I can say is, no matter which one you buy, don't try and assemble it on your own. Get a friend to help. Because all I was doing was getting one corner in, and as soon as you got that in all the way, the last bang would pop out the opposite corner. And it was like 1,000,000 degrees in this room as well, and I was getting so irate with myself. So you might see me in the video. That's me trying to put on the cam exterior face of, oh yeah, this is all going great, look how professional I am. But during that time lapse, if there was a soundtrack to that time lapse, it's me going, you fucking get in the bloody store, why won't you hit the... I was getting so animated, shall we say. But yeah, Big Dog racking, great stuff. I only say that because I know that they give discounts to people when they show them in videos, so I'm hoping I'll get a discount on my next set of racking. So yeah, Big Dog, it's brilliant. I love it. I've been using it for years. If you could have any marine fish, what would you get? We are switching a tank to marine this month. Oh, I don't know. I've kind of gone round in circles with marine fish. I really like just some of the varieties of clownfish. I just think they're ace because they're really busy fish. They're always up and down. They're a bit mental. They host anemones. Manamana. I've never found that. I struggle with that concept. They host anemones. Surely the anemone hosts them. But anyway, they're pretty cool, and you can get smaller varieties that will stick with smaller tanks. Pardon me. But if size was no option, I'm a big tang fan. I like the tangs. So I'd probably go for some of them. St Andrew's Aquarium is meant to be brilliant. St Andrew's Aquarium is... So that's one that I've been going to for years, because that's like my mum and dad's favourite place to go in the world is St Andrews. We used to go there every year on holiday, and they have a sea life centre, and St Andrews obviously is on the coast, on the east coast of Scotland. The thing I liked best about that is they would often have seals coming in, not as exhibits. They would just be like, oh, there's loads of fish in there, and they'd just hang around looking at the fish like, can we have some of them? So that was really good. I don't remember it being brilliant in terms of huge or massive displays or anything like that, but we went every year, and we went to the Sea Life Centre every year, so it was pretty good. Ooh, we used similar racking to you. The first aquarium store I worked at also heard someone severed a tendon building one before. Oh my god. Well, it was mild annoyance then, because if I severed a tendon, I'd really be swearing. Will there be a blooper reel? Yeah, possibly. Luckily, it doesn't record, so I used my GoPro for time lapses on that one. But when I use my big camera for time lapses, it records sound. And I remember doing another one where I was effing and jeffing all the way through it. But me effing and jeffing at super speed, it's one of the most hilarious things I've ever heard. You fucking... So maybe I'll do that one day. I'll leave it on and you can hear the blooper reel. On a slightly different note, I was googling fish conventions last night and came across Aqua Telford. Anyone know anything about it? I've got a ticket, but it looks like it's for trade more than public. It is a trade show, yes. So technically, you have to be in the trade to get a ticket. I've got a ticket as well. Well, depending on how this house move goes, I'll be going. Well, I say I'll be going. I was intending to go. I'll probably make my mind up the week before whether I actually go or not. But yeah, I went a couple of years back. I made a video about it because that's all I do is make videos about things. But it was meh. There was some good exhibits, but it was a trade show. It was so there were all the big names that had their big stands selling their latest and greatest products. There was a lot of marine stuff. There was a lot of ridiculously expensive stuff. There was a lot of food retailers there. There was a few interesting smaller people getting into the niche trades. So it was worth it. I think if I had a shop, it would be worth it because you could get some good contacts there. And apparently, so it's on for 2 days usually. It's the first day, and then they have a dinner, and then they have a second day. And the dinner is meant to be a bit of a riot, and that's meant to be quite fun. So that might be worth it if you were going for that bit and you enjoyed a bit of a party. But yeah, if it was in Sheffield, I'd definitely go. The fact that it's in Telford is making me go, can I be bothered? What am I going to get out of it? But that's very selfish reasons, because I do want to stock some products and I do want to get into more of the business side, but until I commit and actually buy some premises, none of these guys are going to deal with me anyway, so there's always a bit of a I'm just going down and filming some interesting products and some interesting things. So I think I did an interview with a few of the Discus people when I was down there last time. Found a few Seachem. I'll say Seachem. Had a few interesting products that were quite good. So we'll see. But yes, it is a trade show. The times I've been, they've always asked you for a business card, and you have to have some kind of aquatic business card. They printed my flyer. I found it the other day, that's why I'm looking over there, but I think I've binned it. And my entrance card was Graham Kerr, Mr. YouTube. I thought that was great. I could walk around and go, I'm Mr. YouTube. But anyway. Alright, so your large tank is staying freshwater, but Callum wants to experiment with marine on the smaller tank. Well, maybe the clownfish is a good one, because they are... some of them do stay quite small, and they are really interesting, and everybody loves a Nemo. Who doesn't love a Nemo? I mean, it's a bit of a it's just a Nemo, but there are various versions and some really cool colourings and patterns, and it still allows you to do some of the more interesting things, like you can get some shrimps. So even the cleaner shrimps in the marine world are still pretty cool, and you can do corals because they're reef safe usually. And anemones. Yeah, that's right, anemones are cool, and you can have them too. Yeah, so as everyone says, Telford is a trade event. There keeps being rumours about, because like in America they have these fish shows, our versions. I mean, I think I went to one at Hounslow, I think was the last one. There was like the British Discus show was there, and they had the Festival of Fish Keeping and things like that, and they're just a bit especially in comparison to some of the American or European ones. It's like we're barely trying here, which is horrible to say, because loads of people put in loads of effort to get to that point. So I don't know, I think there's a bit of a gap in the UK where maybe we could have some kind of fish convention for fishy people rather than just a trade show. That might be really good. So there you go. Yeah, Graham, Reese and Callum, the Fishman crew will all be there at the Telford thingy. I'm still on the fence. I'm not 100% committed to going yet. But yeah, I probably will go because it is interesting. I'll get a video out of it if nothing else. And I think hanging around with Reese and Callum and making some weird funny videos might be fun if nothing else. I'm tempted to try and fish my way into getting into aqua. It's not that hard. You just have to say, yes, I am an aquatic business, and they give you a ticket. I mean, maybe we could go and do a bit of a takeover. Should we try that? That'd be quite fun. Because like you say, it's only epic if you know lots of people there, because that's what it is. It's the fishy version of business lunches. It's everyone going out on the piss and getting paid by their companies to do so. So maybe if we all did it, we could have like an Aquarium Adventures Gate Crash Aqua Telford. Aquashella, that was the thing that I was thinking of. Yeah, Aqua Telford doesn't sell things. Well, they do sell some things, especially if you go at the end. They'll quite often have loads of samples that they give away. I missed that particular trick last time I went, and I found out about it that if I'd stayed an extra half hour, I'd come home with about 3 tons of food and equipment. But yeah, they don't have many fish. Very few fish. They had Evolution Aqua, I think, was probably the best stand for fish, because they had George Farmer there and he was doing some aquascapes. He was working for them at the time. So he's talking about their filtration products and their bio products and their filtration and filters, same thing. But he was setting up tanks as well, and that was pretty cool. That's when I did my fanboying at George Farmer. I was like, I've seen all your tanks. Oh, yeah. What an idiot I was. Pardon me. Right, shall we do a giveaway? We haven't done a giveaway yet, have we? Let's get down to the bottom of all these. Yeah, shall we get Tropical Fish Keeping UK to do a convention? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Stuart, I agree, definitely a gap in the world in the UK. I think we need it. Well, maybe if we get enough interest, maybe we could, it's not without the bounds of possibility that we could arrange this. We could crowdsource this ourselves, couldn't we? Get enough people in for it. If you're up for it, join the Discord server, we'll create a channel, and if we get enough people helping, let's do it. There you go, petition for an AA convention. We might not call it that. That might put a lot of people off. Some people will think it's Alcoholics Anonymous. Some people will think it's me and get put off by that. So maybe we just need to have some kind of... I mean, the Festival of Fish Keeping, I thought that was a great name. It was just a shitty event. So maybe we could reuse the name but do it better. Does anyone else wonder what people find to do for 2 or 3 days at convention? I don't wonder. I know fine well what they do. They get pissed constantly. I've been on many an IT convention, and day one's always lots of people going, oh yeah, tell me all about Microsoft's new developments in the world of Excel. Day two's lots of people going, oh, I'm so hungover. And day three's, I'm still drunk from last night. That's kind of how it goes. Oh, alright, just broke something. Right. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. Right, are we on Big Face? No, well, that's close enough. Shall we have a giveaway? Yes? No? We'll have a giveaway, and then I'll tell you about my latest Felix rant. I have Felix news. Oh, we've got a super chat from Noodle Sandwich. Have a beer on me. Thank you. With £5, I can have 2. That's 2 for £4. If Getting Slush on the agenda, put me down for tickets. I mean, I don't want to present like a false vision of what I'm interested in. I'm just saying that's what happens at conventions. People get drunk and that's all they care about, and they get paid by their own companies to be there. If we did it, it would have to be us organising something to make it worth coming. That would be my only stipulation. I'm happy to spearhead this and be the face of it or whatever. I'm happy to not be any of those things, but I'm happy to be involved. I just want it to be worth going to, because every other one I've been to in the UK, and I've only been to ones in the UK, they've just been a bit like, right, I drove 3 hours to get here, and I've spent half an hour, and I've finished it, and there's nothing going on. So we would need to get some ideas together of what to do at this convention. I mean, I'm sure we can spend a large portion of it getting drunk, but let's keep that to the evening and actually have some reason for people to bother coming to wherever it is. Oh yeah, well, that's why I immediately retracted. I'm happy to spearhead this. We need someone a lot more famous than me to spearhead this. So we do need to get your aquarium co-ops and they keep talking about coming over to the UK. Let's give them a reason. That might be it. George Farmer. There's loads of big names here that would drag a few people out. Who knows? Yeah, let's get Joey over. We'll have like a celebrity boxing match or something like that. That'd be funny. Right, I was going to do a thing, wasn't I? Do a giveaway, that's what it was. Right, is this going to work? So do we want a giveaway? No one seemed that bothered actually. I'm sure you will. Let's see what prize we can give away. Oh, it does work, thank God. Right, we're having this is the Kaylee wheel. Kaylee, wake up! It's another goodie bag. Excellent. It's not just stickers and therefore rubbish, and it's not a hoodie, which is expensive. So that's my perfect prize. I'm not rigged it or anything, I'm happy that that's what came up. So, if you're interested in getting a goodie bag, let me bring up the right screen. Move you out the way. Go on to giveaways. The word is convention. Well, I usually let Courtney pick the word, so let's stick with that. If you want to win a goodie bag, there are some rules. You have to type the word convention, CONVENTION. Let's go on little face so you can see me typing it in. So just like that. Convention. If you want to win a prize, hang on, why is that covering up that? That's not right. Kaylee is awake, good. If you want to win a prize, type the word convention in the chat. Yeah, a London-based convention would be annoying, but probably sensible too, because it is a major transport hub. But I think Midlands or Sheffield or somewhere like that might be good as well. Because London's good because it's central and lots of places and people can get there fairly easily. It's also expensive as hell. So anyway, I was doing something there, wasn't I? I'm going to bump down chat display under my face. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Right, so you have to live in the world and be willing to pay postage if you don't live in the UK. UK, you don't have to pay anything. It's all completely free. You have to be a subscriber. I'm going to make a new rule. Even if you're already a subscriber, go and watch one of my videos and leave a comment, even if it's just, I'm only making this comment so I can win a prize. I think I need more engagement on my videos because I'm not getting enough views. So meet all those requirements and you might win a prize. You win a goodie bag. I don't know what the goodie bag will contain. I guarantee you it'll contain a pen, some stickers, some fish food, and maybe a pot noodle. Who knows? So we've got 34 eligible users. I know that's not how you say it, but it makes me feel good. Could hold it where they do the MCM Comic Con in London Convention Centre. Yeah, I've looked at events stuff before, just through work, for trying to organise work events. It's like anything, there's a London tax. It's just everything's more expensive in London. If the event venue itself isn't expensive, because some of them do run a lot of subsidised stuff, then the vendors, so the same vendor, I don't want to harp on about being an alcoholic or anything like that, but if we were to get someone to provide drinks at an event, the same drinks vendor to put, I don't know, 3 bars in an event centre in London, versus the same company doing the same thing in Birmingham or Manchester or something like that, it's almost double the price to do it in London. But anyone who's not from the UK, London's probably best. Anyone who's from, I mean, I can get a train to London from Sheffield in 2 hours. It's not like it's terrible. So this is why 90% of conventions don't happen. It's because everyone has an opinion and no one can decide anything, and then it's an argument and it never happens. But you never know. You never know. Right. Two conventions, a North and South convention, solve all the problems. No, that'd be two ill-attended conventions. Pardon me. Right, I think we've got there. 36. It's not gone up in a minute. So shall we pick the winner? Are we ready? And drum roll, please. Oh my god, it's a fix! It's a fix! Kaylee has won the giveaway. I mean, it's to be expected, isn't it? Congratulations, Kaylee. You've won again. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you've hacked my system. But congratulations. Well done. Deserving winner. Deserving winner. I don't know if she is a deserving winner. She wins far too often, in my opinion. But, you know. Well done. Well done. Let's go back to Big Face. And let's find my comments and my chat again. What have I done with you lot? There we go. Yes, don't forget, you have to send me an email, Kaylee, if you want your goodie bag, because it reminds me to send it. And I apologise to the fan who won it last week, because I still haven't sent yours. I thought you didn't send your email, but you did send an email, and you were even quite prompt about it, so I will get that out at the same time. So, lots of suggestions for a convention. I never thought this is how tonight would pan out. A quarter of the country lives in London. So, I think you're using stats that don't tell the whole story there. A quarter of the country lives in, but Midlands is fair travelling for all. A lot of people do live in London, but that's part of the problem, that it's too congested. It's not conducive for that kind of thing. I'm not ruling London out. I'm saying this as if we're planning a convention right now. I'm not ruling London out, but I'm not convinced it's the best place to host something like that. MD fish tanks is, yeah, we could have a whole YouTube section. Come and meet your favourite YouTuber and get all the big UK YouTubers in. That would bring a few people in, but I think we'd need more than just that. We'd need some like escape offs and giveaways and guest speakers and interesting things, all that sort of stuff. So there's lots to talk about, lots to worry about. Mickey does love a bit of video engagement. So do I. There's not enough people that love some video engagement. Even if you just watch a video, just comment anything. Even if it's I hate this video, it doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't care. They just see a comment and they go, oh well, people are commenting. This must be a good video. So if you would all do me a favour, next time you watch one of my videos, or even just go onto a random video of mine, leave a comment. In fact, if you're going to go onto any video of mine, go into the one that I released today and just say whatever. It could even literally be whatever, and that'll help. I like that idea. The Kaylee wheel could come in handy. We put all the ideas on the wheel and then just see what happens. We may as well just ask Kaylee now. Where do you want the convention to be held, Kaylee? And she can let us know. Yeah, Manchester, that's another good hub. Very central, very easy to get to from lots of places. Scotland, Glasgow Airport, major international hub. Yeah, we could do that, but I think just even the word Scotland puts people off. They think it's a different country, but obviously it is, but they think it's like millions of miles away or something like that, just by saying it's, well, like I say, 250 miles away from my door to my mum and dad's door. That's not the ends of the earth. Start in Sheffield and then when it grows big, move it to London. Yeah, we could do that. Norfolk is pretty cheap and we have a convention centre at the showground. Yeah, Norfolk, that is freaking miles away from anywhere though. I went there on holiday once a couple of years ago. It was a very nice holiday, but it's a right bitch to get to. Kaylee's definitely awake now and rolling on the floor laughing. Very good. Am I using OBS Studio for streaming? I am using OBS Studio for streaming. So I'm detecting a pattern here. I'm pretty sure all these suggestions are where people live. Come to Hull. Come to Birmingham. Come to Scotland. No gravy in London, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, the last time I went to, it was like, what was it called? Corporate boxing fight. So you had to pick a charity and you would fight for. And it was like black tie and everything, but it was down in London. So my company said, well, you can go down. We've booked a table at this, but one of our guys is fighting in this corporate fight. Got a night in a hotel, got to go to this event, so it's free drinks and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, definitely I'll go. So we said it was with all our like top bosses and everything. So we're like, yeah, we'll meet in the hotel, the bar. So I'm there in the bar waiting for everyone, thinking, oh, I'm kind of 20 minutes early. I'll get a drink at the bar. I was like, hey, can I have a bottle of Budweiser, please? And they're like, yep, that's £9.30 or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, no, just one. Like, yep, it's £9.30. And it wasn't a bottle like this. It was your normal size bottle. So they gave me it with a glass, put it down. I was like, any cheaper without the glass? I couldn't. How can you get away with charging that much money for things? But it's just the way it is. There you go. Random fact. In medieval times, East Anglia was the most densely populated part of the UK. I did not know that. Right, Scott's decided it's happening. Well, let's get together on Discord. I'll give you a challenge. If you can answer some of the basic questions about location, draws, what are we using to draw people in, what's the ethos of the convention, why are we doing it, what are we going to give the people who are going to come. Once I've moved house, I'll join in. I've just not got any left. I've not got any headspace left for any more organisational things. I'm still wondering how I'm going to arrange a removals company on Tuesday to come on Thursday and move my house. It blows my mind that this is the way that moving house works in this country. Oh yeah, you could bring your array of dead fish. that might actually be quite a draw. That might be a bit of a push. Let's get the Queen to open the convention. Aye, we could get Fishman Aquatics Band going. See my rendition of Under the Sea. I wouldn't want to go to Manchester, they have a bad football team there. Yeah, but you'd get to come through Liverpool to get to Manchester. Right, let's get down, because everyone's just saying where they're from, basically. Edinburgh, Shrewsbury. Maybe we'll start small. My new house is quite big. It'll just be a slot. We'll come round, we'll camp in the garden, fire up a barbecue. Right. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Felix V2. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. The Felix, in fact, let's have a look at the website, see if it's changed yet. Pardon me. So, if you don't know, the Felix Smart is an aquarium controller. Let's go WeFace, actually. It's a smart controller. It does things like power management. You can set schedules, you can set routines. It's linked with Alexa and Siri and things like that. It'll measure the parameters of your aquarium. It will take pictures and video of your aquarium. It will do some proactive AI type monitoring of your aquarium. Not quite as smart as some of the things it's initially claimed to do, but it's getting there. So I have the V1 because I backed it in an early access thing, and they made the crucial mistake of, so its main function, I think, is a power hub for all your devices for your aquarium. So it has 8 power sockets, 4 and then 4 underneath. Or I'll do that up here, 4 in a row and then 4 underneath. But they oriented them in such a way that UK plugs couldn't all be plugged in. So you could only use 4 at a time, or you'd have to use adapters to space them out. So it's a whole thing. But they've now had a V2, and back when they released the V1 and sent me that, and I went, none of the plugs fit, you idiots. What's going on here? And they said, we promise we will redesign this, and we're going to get the UK ones sorted out, and we'll send you one free of charge, just for being an early adopter and a backer. We'll get you the Felix V2 sent out. So a couple of months back they said, right, the V2, we finished designing it, it's almost ready, we're just getting them shipped in now. And true Scotsman, I hold my hands up to this, admittedly. One of the things that they said, hang on, just let me get that chat out away because it's in my way. It's not really their fault, but when they sent it to me, so I think I paid something like $250 as an early adopter, like a Kickstarter type thing. So I paid my money, and they shipped it to me. But they put on the customs form the full retail price of it rather than the price I actually paid. And the full retail price was like $700 or something like that. So I was like, what? So I ended up having to pay £95 in import fees and custom duties. So I wasn't happy about that, as you can imagine. I was like, well, how's this not included in the price? So rah. Yep, so sorry, won't do that. We'll make sure that doesn't happen. So they sent me the V2 saying what we've done is we've stated on all the customs documents that this is a defective unit that's being replaced, and this is a replacement unit, and it doesn't have any value, and blah 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 blah. So they shipped it out and they sent it to me, and then I got the email from UPS today saying, we've got this thing, it's coming to you, there's customs fees to pay. £85 I've had to pay this time. I'm like, bloody Brexit, innit? So I don't want to get all political, but it just pissed me off royally. So they are looking into distributors and what deals need to be done where and whatever. But yeah, so I've ended up having to pay £85 again. So that's coming on Monday, I think. I hope it is, because if I move next week and it doesn't come on Monday, so I felt like I was a little bit backed into a corner, so I couldn't do anything but pay for it, else it would just get lost. But still, it's meant to be really good. Maybe I'll auction one off, or I'll do it as a prize one week. But there you go. It's a smart controller. It's all your devices all plugged into one place. 8 power sockets, 6 USB sockets. There's Bluetooth. There's Wi-Fi. There's Ethernet connections. It's, if you think about it as an Alexa for your aquarium. You can do loads of things with the mobile app. It's not cheap. It is expensive. It's in the same family of types of things as your Apex Neptunes and that type of thing, which are all similarly priced, and they all have their own values. So, you know, pay your money, take your chance, all that kind of stuff. I have the V1 at the moment, and there were loads of bugs to start with, but to be fair, it's been rock solid ever since. It packs in various things, like if you were interested in a Senai system but didn't really want to invest in that ecosystem, you can use that with this. The way it measures some of the parameters that it uses the Senai monitoring stuff. This thing you can see here is basically a Senai with a Felix branding on it. The app's pretty good. It's easy to read. It comes, the light measuring thing's pretty good. Everything's pretty good, and it keeps getting better. The one thing I was really worried about at first was they made loads of promises which they didn't deliver on. So being a bit like a smart UPS, where it would give you power supply and battery backup, just doesn't exist. It's got dropped as a thing. The AI is getting there, but so the way they sold this was you put the camera in there and it'll be constantly monitoring, so it learns your fish behaviour, and then if your fish starts acting differently, it sends you a message and says, oh, this betta fish, it usually swims this direction and now it's swimming upside down, I think it might be ill. It doesn't do that, but it does do some things. So it has developed over time as well, which is, I think, the thing that saved it is it's got constant updates. So month on month, new features are being added, and they haven't just dropped it. It's getting there. The automation, the AI advice, it does if this then that integration, which probably doesn't mean anything to most people, but these are all good things, and they're continuing to grow on it. So I thought I would just tell you about it. The camera's still shit right now. I have to say that. It seems like it's the easiest bit to get right, but it's awful. Hopefully the new one will have better to go with the camera, but we will see. So yeah, links into everything. There's loads more probes and things coming out. All in all, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it because I haven't had to pay full retail price. I definitely would be thinking about it before paying full retail price. But I'm happy with it. Yeah, I can't complain. It does the thing, and it's got this light that goes vroom, vroom, vroom. That's almost worth the retail price all on its own. It's in my opinion, the only things that are wrong with it is it's too big, and it's too big, and the customs things haven't been sorted out. So as you can see here, you've got the Felix Pro, which comes with all the cameras, the probes, and all that kind of stuff. In fact, just read this basically. So you get Pro, 800 quid, 400 quid for the light, which doesn't come with the camera and things like that. So, and as I've said, the camera's a bit pants. Maybe you don't want to bother with the camera. I'm pretty sure the rate of development with this is you'll get another USB camera that you'll be able to hook up to it at some point. Someone will hack it. Someone will bring third-party products that you'll be able to plug in. There is a group where the developers talk about all the things that they're trying to do. So I'm excited is not the right word, but I'm really pleased with the way the development of it's going. Cause it's not open source or anything like that, but they're very open and honest about what they're developing and how they're trying to engage with other companies to bring other ecosystems into it, like Sinai, like all these other probes and things that they've started bringing in. So it could be good. So, other than the customs issue, so yeah, pay £430 free shipping, USA and Canada. What about us? How much is the shipping? How much is the tax? Pardon me. So, I just wanted to tell you about that's turning up next week. We'll see how good it is, and I'll give you my honest opinion, as I tend to do about these type of things. Nearly out of beer. Might have to go soon. Right, let's see. Last few. I was going to say last few noodles, but that's not what I meant to say. Courtney, where's the husband tonight? Lying next to me, snoring. Well, I must admit, if you need to write off the next year or so of your life, get all the sleep you can now. We've got another subscriber, Nordarb Esparella. Just rolls off the tongue. Thank you for joining. Little Sammy's got to go. Watch the rest tomorrow. There's not much more to go. Thank you for joining us. Curious if you could hack it or buy modifications from people. So there certainly has been talk about. Why am I on that camera? There certainly has been talk about people doing like little scripts and things where they've been writing their own things, which have been adopted by the developers. People are coming up with hacks all the time of what they want to get in, and they appear in later updates. I think it's based on Linux and it's fairly open source stuff. So, like I say, I'm quite positive about the future of it because it does seem to be developing fast. It's not like they've had one update in the last 2 years. It's like every month a new thing comes in. So they're doing quite well for it. It would depend on what OS it's running first. I think it's a Linux base, but I'm not entirely sure. Ask Felix to attend the convention. Yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, there are people here who are. So I think George Farmer's involved. He's one of the ambassadors for Felix. How many tanks does it run? 1. Nearly £400 for a shit camera. No thanks. Your honesty stopped me from buying it. I'm sure your views will do the same this time. No, it's over £400 and you don't even get the shit camera. It's £800 for the shit camera version. Yeah, I mean, this very much isn't for everyone. I think this is targeted at marine keepers because marine people seem happy to just go fish, yay, loads of money, let's give it away. It's not cheap, but neither's the Apex. None of these things are cheap. But I do have a video in the bank. Well, I need to reshoot it and redo it all. But I took my Felix and said, well, how can I provide the same functionality with other things? So I did it with like a UPS, some smart plugs, a USB webcam, all that kind of thing. It was a very much tongue-in-cheek, and it was like how to make a Frankenstein version of it rather than an actual version of it. But I did get an LED strip to make the light. I was really happy with that. Yeah, and it's not for everyone. I think even the retailers know it's not for everyone. It's for a certain niche set of people who just like throwing money at their aquariums. Because there are cheaper ways to do all the things it can do, and even if they paid me, and as well as sending me a free thing, if they paid me as well, I'd still be telling you there are cheaper ways to do this same thing. But there's not cheaper ways to get everything in one box, and it's nice. It's very nice, but you're paying for that. Yeah, I'd rather buy an old laptop with a webcam for 50 quid and set it up with remote access, keep the rest for more fish to look at. Yeah, and like I said, there are other ways to do similar things. So we know it's not for everyone. Right, we've hit 11 o'clock. I think we're about to crash into me needing a pee time, and I think Mipple Aquatics might be streaming as well. I'm sure Scott will tell us. How Wendy's joined us just back from the pub. Have I missed much? Nah. We're having a UK convention that apparently I'm running all about fish stuff. So I'm going to go and have a pee, and then I'm going to go and make something to eat, because I have had dinner, but I'm starving. This doesn't happen all on its own, you know. But jump into Discord, come and say hello, come and give us your ideas for a convention. If you guys can organise a location amongst yourselves, I'll be impressed. And then, yeah, I'll help. We'll get it to the next stage after that. So thank you very much for joining us. As always, click like, click subscribe, click all the buttons, click the things. Go watch my videos, go leave some comments on my videos, that'd be really useful. But for now, go and say hello to Mipple Aquatics. There you go, Scott's put the link in the description down there. Go and say hello, say you've been sent over by Aquarium Adventures. He really likes to know where everyone's come from. But I'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next week. Well, I hope we don't see you next week, because if I do see you next week, it means I haven't moved house. And my wife will be having kittens, so hopefully we'll not see you next week, and we'll see you the one after that. But until then, have a good one. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you later. Bye.